on, everyone? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Eldridge, and I am proud to be sponsored by Maximus Nutrition. Um, Kyle and the guys had a couple questions they wanted me to answer for all of you guys. So, without getting into a whole long, big backstory about who I am, because most of you probably don't care, you just want to get to the questions. I will say, 27 years old, been competing for 2 years. Went to nationals this past year in 2012 at the 200-pound class, and in the process of trying to earn my spot at the 175-pound class this year. So, with all that out of the way, we'll go on and get to the questions. The first one is, what is my best advice for someone beginning a strongman or powerlifting journey? I only have a limited experience in powerlifting. I did one competition back in, I believe it was 2011, before I went on deployment. Just simply did bench press because I was pretty new to all of it, and it was up in Washington State. Actually, happened to set a Washington State military record in the bench press at 181. I believe it was 335. As far as I know, it still stands. If not, maybe I'll have to go back up there and break whoever has the record right now. But as far as my advice for anyone getting into it, first and foremost, most important advice I can give is grow a beard. That's going to be the best thing you can do for yourself. Women, this includes you too. Make sure you grow a beard. Your men will just have to get over it. But besides that, um, I would honestly suggest just getting in touch with maybe your state chair or finding a local crew near you and just getting in there and doing it as far as strongman goes. Just get in there, try out the events, try out all the implements, and don't really worry too much about thinking you're not strong enough or this, that, or the other, or you don't weigh enough or anything like that, or you don't have enough experience. Just get out there and do it and have fun. Strongman, in essence, is supposed to be functional fitness and functional strength. So you shouldn't have to have a whole lot of training. You just go out there, have a lot of fun, and you'll learn as you go. Um, Besides that, I would definitely suggest basically just making sure you hit all the main lifts, get overhead press, hit your squats, your deadlifts, and bench press a little bit, mainly as accessory work. I just make sure you hit all your lifts and just have fun with it. Um, Besides that, pay close attention to your diet, your supplement plan. Obviously, the guys at Maximus can help you guys out with that. But diet to me has made a night and day difference from competing at a not so strong 190 to going to nationals, the strongest I've ever been at 210, and just feeling so much better. So please make sure you take care of your diet. So on to the second question. They want to know how I spot weaknesses since everybody has them, and how do I approach improving them. Um, for me, it's honestly in competition is when you'll see your weaknesses come out the most. Um, be it a yoke, an overhead press, a loading event, a moving event, carrying event, anything like that. Once you've done one or two comps, you'll start to realize where you're lacking at compared to other people in your weight group or just compared to where you think you should be. Um, you'll notice it again. Like I said, the more you compete, the more you train it, you'll start thinking, okay, I'm under the yoke and it's starting to fold me over. You're going to need core strength. You have a hard time picking it, work on leg strength. It's honestly finding your weak points is a big part of just competing. Um, with that said, I got into strongman kind of just by chance. I was on deployment, like I said, in 2011 to 2012, and I was actually just cruising around the internet and kind of, I'd always watched World's Strongest Man on TV as a kid. I had no idea there was amateurs and weight groups or anything like that. So what I did is did some research on the internet, found a crew close to me in Washington when I got back, which was I believe February of 2012. Um, got in touch with them, talked to Grant Higa up there, and he put me in touch with Patrick Castelli, who just won nationals at 175. Real proud of him for that. And Zach Zach McCarley, multi-time national champion, lightweight pro. So I had the benefit of getting to train with some really great guys. Um, but my first contest, I believe, was maybe a month and a half after I first started training implements. And I did an unsanctioned contest, and then the following weekend I did Washington's Strongest Apple, which is one of the heavier contests in the country. Um, and be totally honest with you, I got fourth out of four in the 200-pound class. I weighed maybe 187 the day I weighed in. Got my butt handed to me the entire time, but I learned so much about myself, what my weaknesses are, what I needed to improve, and it was just a blast. And for people who think that they're not ready to compete yet, if you have the money to spend, go out there and just do a competition. It's some of the most fun you'll ever have. Amazing supportive community. You will not regret doing it, and I promise you that there's no starting too soon or anything like that. Just go out there and have some fun. Like I said, I did terrible in that comp. Then the following December, I did another competition in Oregon, got third place in my spot at nationals, and it was like night and day difference between competing. I've done now, I think, 10 competitions, including nationals. So I'm by far not a veteran like a lot of people. Like I said, I've been doing it 2 years, excuse me. 10 competitions. I've competed at 200, and this past January I competed at 175. Got second by a close margin. Um, so yeah, as far as learning your weaknesses, that's really what it's going to take is just getting out there, competing, trial and error. You'll start to learn your body, and there's really no other way to do it. Um, as far as my future plans with this sport, like I said, I want to qualify for nationals at 175. Maybe give Patrick Castelli a little bit of push at nationals this year. Get my spot at the Arnold eventually. Um, at the moment, I'm taking a little bit of a break due to not wanting to cut the weight for a little bit, getting back up to around 210. I'm gonna do Texas Strongest Man coming up here. I believe it's in April. It's only 231 and below for lightweights, so no weight cut for that, and it's also unknown events, which is kind of fun. You don't have to stress training certain events and certain weights. You just keep training, work all your events, and just you'll find out the day of the comp and go out and have fun. Um, besides that, I'm actually looking into getting into rugby a little bit. Been wanting to do it for years, and at 27, I'm not getting any younger. So, I'm looking into playing rugby at a school. Hopefully in fall. I'm not sure how it's going to work depending on nationals and everything. So we're going to see how that goes. Um, Actually, there's a lot of strongmen who came from rugby to strongman due to injuries. I'm kind of going the opposite route here. So we'll see how that goes. I work with a great coach in Mike Mistel. Helps me out a lot as far as programming, diet, and everything. So we've got a pretty solid plan planned out for me for the rest of this year. Um, as far my weakest event, I would have to say probably stones. Being 5'7" on a good day makes loading not a whole lot of fun. But again, you can look at Zach McCarley. He's about 5'7", 5'8", one of the best stone loaders I've ever seen. Um, it's definitely a weakness for me. It's something I hammer constantly, and I'm definitely improving on. But if I had to pick a weakest event, it would definitely be stones. My best event, probably most of the overhead stuff. My overhead, again, I worked with Mike Jenkins for a while, um, and been working with Mike Mistel, and it's taken my pressing to a whole nother level. It's really become a pretty decent event for me. Also, farmers have always had a pretty decent grip. Um, so I'd have to say probably farmers and overhead are, for me, my best and favorite events. Um, I really try and go by the motto of not being a master of any event, and I really just try and be well rounded and smooth throughout a competition. You have got a lot of guys who can come out here and smoke of a 900-pound yoke and win that event easily, but can't do any overhead, can't do any loading. Their grip is terrible, and they're not going to win a competition that way. I really, really try to be well rounded, which is something I learned from Pat and Zach both. They're just really hard to beat in any one event, and they just stay consistent throughout and pretty much always come out on top. Um, you know, besides that, if you guys guys have any other questions, feel free to let me know. You can look me up on Facebook, Chris Eldridge, and you guys make sure to go check out Maximus Nutrition. The guys know what they're doing. They'll give you a customized plan, whether you're in Texas, out of Texas, near them or not. You can definitely find them on Facebook. I highly recommend them. They've given me some good products that have been helping me a lot. So yeah, until next time, guys, take care.